So I've encountered and spoke to a whole bunch of different people in my time. Some people have taught me some important life lessons. Some people, they've taught me some important skills which have been useful at very specific times during life. And then some people were just bad people that I should have never listened to because they only tried to steer me in the wrong direction and just put me on a really bad path. Like at some point in life, you're either gonna experience or you've experienced the type of person that you'll think you should listen to, but you'll later on realize why you shouldn't. You know what they say though? You don't go to the fish to ask how to catch more fish. You go to the fisherman. But the thing is, some people in this world, they're very good at disguising themselves as a fisherman and not the fish. If you know what I just said, you know. Like the real question is, how would you decipher between a person that's just talking just to talk about some things they ain't got a clue about, and some person who's actually lived the real life experiences and can actually give some genuine advice? Right, so the first sign to decipher this should be being able to visually see some kind of proof of what they're saying. You should be able to see what it is for yourself. They shouldn't just be a person that just talks just to talk. They should have some type of receipts of things they're talking about. You see, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel way better knowing that I take advice from someone who's given me visual proof of receipts and evidence which actually shows me that the stuff they're saying is true. Like if you're giving me advice, I want to actually see the advice working. I want to see how it worked for you. I'm not just trying to take your advice just to take your advice. And it's the best way to do it, because without that, can you really trust them? That's the real question. If they're giving you advice, where's the results at? Where's the proof? Where's the evidence? You know what I'm saying? Without this evidence, without any type of proof of what they're saying, it's hard to gauge whether or not they're actually being truthful. So yeah, something important to do when taking advice from someone is making sure that they show you some type of visual representation of what they're actually saying and how the advice is going to affect you. Alright, so the second sign to decipher whether or not you should take a person's advice serious is if they actually talk about why you should take their advice. You see, there's no rights without wrongs. Are they the type of person that's actually talking about both sides, both their rights and wrongs? Or are they only just mentioning one side, which more time will be rights? Because when taking advice, you got to factor in both ends. You got to talk about the things which are right and the things which are wrong. Like, do they talk about their mistakes and the position that their own mistakes got them into? Do they mention these type of things? Obviously, some people, they don't want to talk about their wrongs, but a big part of giving advice is knowing where and when you went wrong, so you can prevent other people from making the same mistakes. So if they can't explain this or be fully transparent about their rights and wrongs, then this is really the type of person who you want to take advice from, when they're clearly hiding stuff. Like if you're giving advice to someone, you should be able to explain both why and how everything went wrong and how everything went right. Do you get me? You should be transparent on both ends. It shouldn't just be a one-sided thing. So yeah, again, just don't even take advice from this type of person if they don't say why. Alright, and lastly, similar to what I said before, think about the type of person that's actually giving you this advice. Is it the type of person that's holding grudges against you? Is it the type of person who is actually nice to you and does good things for you? Or is it just a random person? See, this may seem like a minor thing, but it's actually a very vital part of whether or not you should actually listen to someone for advice. I'm not sure if it's an ego thing or what, but me, I don't feel comfortable taking advice from someone who holds grudges against me. It's just, why would I do that? You got a grudge against me, so the advice you give me is probably going to be bad anyway and lead me down a path I don't want to be on just because you don't like me. But it's a factor you got to actually take into consideration and just think like, hold on a second. The advice I'm getting is decent, but just look at the person who it's coming from. If they hold any type of grudges against you, then you automatically know that like you shouldn't. In most cases, I wouldn't anyway. You see, it may seem small or obvious to some, but I just had to include it in this video. But yeah, this has just been a video explaining the type of person you should never take advice from. Now obviously, everyone's free to do what they want, but I'm just trying to help the ones that actually listen and actually understand things, so they don't have to get themselves in these situations. But yeah, it's been your boy Dan Links, aka D Star. If you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video. Come on.